Hello everyone, my name is Ms. Dusha Udani and let's continue with our subject impression management. In today's lecture we are going to see factors influencing personality. Okay, so in last lecture we understood what is personality, what are different things in personality. Okay, so today we'll understand what are the factors that influence the personality. Okay, what are the determinants of personality, how our personality gets affected. Okay, so let's start with the point factors influencing personality. First is environmental factor. Among the factors that exert pressure on our personality formation are the culture in which we are raised, our early conditioning, the norms among our family, friends and society groups, and other influences that we experience. These environmental factors play a substantial role in shaping our personality. So the first word here is given as environmental factors. What do environmental factors means? The environmental factors means the environment around us. Okay, how happy our environment around is, how sad our environment around is, how culture around us is. Okay, so let's say you are living in a big cities like Mumbai, Chennai and all these cities. There you have a lot of freedom to work. Okay, you have freedom to do job after 12th standard, or you can say you have lot of scope to go into the big things. Okay, as compared to if you live in villages. In villages you have a lot of social bondings. Okay, in villages you know every neighbor, you know every neighbor's family history and everything. Okay, so what kind of environment you have around you conditions your personality. How is your environment around you tells how affects your personality. Okay, if you have many friends, environment, if in your environment if your many friends are rich, you are bound to influence from them, you are bound to behave like the rich friends. Okay, if you have, let's say, family who is very traditional in nature, then you are bound to have some traditional values, many traditional values deep inside you. How your conditioning has been while you're growing up, what are the values that society has taught you affects your personality. Okay, so whatever environment is around you affects your personality. Okay, environment, not just natural environment but also human environment, economic environment, after that social environment, all these kind of environments affect you. Okay, how is the business structure in the city, that affects you. How is the climate in your city also affects you. Okay, if you live in a very you can say that very hot region, or where the temperature is very high, your environment, your personality is going to be affected, because when you go in the places which are more cooler, there you are bound to feel different experiences. Okay, your personality changes according to the environment, natural also and man-made environment also. Okay, so first point was environmental factors. Next is physical factors. There are many physical factors which will determine a person's personality. These physical factors include overall physical structure of a person, his height, weight, color, sex, beauty, body language, etc. Okay, so physical factors means what? How your body is, how the physique of a person is. Okay, is the person short heighted, is the person very tall, is the person slim, is the person fat, is the person very fair skin, is the person very dark tone, if the person a female, is the person a male, if the person is bisexual, what kind of person you are affects your personality. How does that affect? Okay, let's say a person is very fat. Okay, if a person, we are taking an example, a person is very fat, so that person most of the time is going to be insecure about his or her body. Okay, that person is bound to be insecure about his or her body, because in social media or on the internet or on the television screens we all see the models are very thin and very tall. Okay, so if you are someone who has a short height, or you are fat, then you are bound to get pressurized, and that is bound to affect your personality. Okay, so personality is affected by your height, weight, color, sex, beauty also. How you talk, how you behave also affects your personality. If your body language is very dull, if your body language is very weak, the people in front of you are not going to assume you very good. Okay, the people in front of you are going to say, nah, that person is not very strong. Okay, and what image other person has created affects also affects your personality. Okay, so physical factors means what? The factors that are with your body. Okay, how you talk, or you can say how much tall you are, how much short you are, how much weight you have. Okay, these all affect your personality. Okay, next is Situational factors. The situational factors can be commonly observed when a person behaves contrastingly and exhibits different traits and characteristics. In this way, situational factors impact a personality in a significant way. They often bring out the traits of a person that are not commonly seen. An individual's personality, although generally stable and consistent, does change in different situations. Okay. So now is situational factors. Situational factors means what? According to the situation, your personality changes according to the situation, or according to the need of the situation. Okay, what situation has come, what you can say problem has come, what kind of issues you are seeing ahead or you are handling affects your personality. Okay, a person usually shy, a person who is usually shy, who doesn't really talk much, but when he is forced or she is forced to come on the stage, can speak very well. Okay, can speak very well and with full confidence. Okay, sometimes the situations bring out the best out of you. Okay, sometimes situations bring out the qualities that you didn't know you had, or you always had, but you didn't really express that. Okay, so personality, so these situations affect your personality. Okay, when suppose a kid who is shy in school, okay, there is a kid who is shy in school, and then he has to give a speech suddenly. Okay, without any warning, without any preparation, he is told to give a speech. Okay, at that time what happens when the person kid is given told to give the speech? Sometimes he or she may give a very great speech, he or she may be very confident on stage, and that situation, that event affects a lot to the personality. Okay, that person, that kid realizes that no, I have a potential to stand on the stage, I have potential to speak of my mind, I am actually a very creative person. Okay, so this is a situational factor. This changes really changes your personality. Okay, what situation comes ahead changes your personality. Okay, let's take another example. A person is scared of snakes. Okay, and then and suddenly there is a situation where he or she has to face the snakes. Okay, and then he or she actually successfully completes that situation, and he or she successfully survives that situation. So in that situation, the person has anxiety of snakes, but he or she survived that. So that person, its personality actually changes, and he or she becomes more confident than he or she already is. Okay, so next now is hierarchy, or hereditary. Okay, hereditary means what is coming in from your genes, what is coming from your great grandfathers, great parents, great grandparents. Okay, hereditary means what is coming from your family, what is coming from your parents, from your grandparents, from your great grandparents. Okay, hereditary refers to those factors that were determined at conception. Physical structure, facial attractiveness, gender, temperament, muscle composition, and reflexes, energy level, and biological rhythms are characteristics that are generally considered to be either completely or substantially influenced by the either or considered to be either completely or substantially influenced by the parents. Okay, hereditary predisposes a certain mental, physical, and emotional state. It has been established through research that those psychological characteristics can be transmitted through hereditary. Okay, hereditary means what comes in from your parents. Okay, what genes come in from your parents, what DNA structure you have. Okay, so hereditary means what? The you can say characteristics of your personality that come from your parents, or characteristics of yourself that come from your parents. Example, your both parents are very tall. Okay, so it is in your genes that you will be also tall. Okay, not most of the time this happens, but sometimes it may not happen, but it is in your genes that your height is going to be tall. Okay, another thing, when your parents, one of your parent is emotional, it is bound to that you will also be more emotional like them. Okay, so hereditary means what comes in from the generations, what comes in from your parents and great grandparents, on all these things. Okay, it is usually said when you see a kid, you say that person has gone on their father, or that person has gone on their mother. Okay, why do the people say that? Because the personality traits, or the personality characteristics, or personality factors have come down from your parents or grandparents. Okay, So hereditary also affects your personality. What your parents are, what are the personality of your parents, what are the personality of grandparents, also is bound to affect you. Okay, and that is science. Okay, that is nothing, that is a thing that you have got in your genes. Okay, you can change that. Of course you can change your personality anytime, anywhere you want, but there are some characteristics that you are going to get through your parents. Okay, so this is nothing but hereditary. Hereditary means what? The things or the characteristics of your personality that you get from your parents and your family. Okay, next is family and social factors. Family and social groups have the most significant impact on personality development. Parents and other family members have a strong influence on personality development of a person. Parents have more effect on personality development as compared to other members of the family. Okay, so next is family and social factors. Okay, in last point we studied hereditary factors. Hereditary factors means what? The factors that are coming in from your genes. Okay, the factors that are going to come in you. Okay, due to the genes, due to the DNA, due to the body physical formation. Okay, but family and social factors means what? How your family behaves, how your family reacts is going to affect your personality. Okay, here how your parents are, how they represent themselves to you, how they represent themselves to you is going to affect your personality. Okay, so here how your parents behave, how your parents talk with other people, how your parents communicate with you, how your parents communicate with their siblings is going to affect your personality. And in your family the most affecting person in the family are your parents. Okay, after that your siblings are the most who affect you. Okay, so family and social factors means what? How your family behaves, how your parents behave is going to affect your personality. Okay, next is identification process. The identification process occurs when a person tries to identify himself with some person to whom he feels the ideal in the family. Okay, identification process here it is given in 2-3 ways. Okay, identification process can be you can say bifurcated into 3 ways. Okay, the first thing here given here is when a person tries to identify himself with the society group. Okay, means what he play, what he is in the group. Okay, example, in your family, are you a son, are you a daughter, are you a mother, are you a father, are you a sister, are you a brother, what you are? When this identification process happens, this is going to change your personality. Okay, let's see a simple example but real life example in identification process. Okay, suppose you are the kid and after you there is another sibling you have. Okay, now you suddenly become an older sibling, you suddenly come to know that now you are going to be the elder, you are going to have another sibling with you who is going to be younger. So your personality changes. How does that change? Number one thing, you start becoming responsible to the younger kid, you to the younger sibling that has come in your family. Okay, another thing, where that person had the second sibling that is there, he comes to know that I am a younger person, so his personality or her personality is bound to affect with the factor that he or she is a younger sibling, and the upper sibling or the first sibling is going to be get affected that he has become a younger sibling. From a single child he has got a sibling, that is bound to change, that is bound to affect your personality. So in identification process, what role you play in your family, in the society, is going to affect your identification, and that identification affects your personality. When you identify yourself as like I am a younger sibling, or you identify yourself as a sister, or you identify yourself as a brother, that is going to affect your personality. When you come to know you are an elder sibling, when you are an elder brother, then your personality changes. When you actually realize that you have become an elder brother now, that your younger sibling, your younger sister is now your responsibility, your personality is bound to change. Your personality changes into becoming a more mature, into becoming a more protective, into becoming a more strong person. Okay, first identification can be viewed as the similarity of the behavior between the person and the model. Okay, so second thing here, second kind of identification process we are talking about is the personality. When you see a person as a model, someone like in a young age, when in a very young age we see our mother or father as our model. Okay, so what we first identify is similarity between the behavior between that person, whoever your model is, and yourself. Okay, this identification is going to change. Okay, you see, as suppose you see your father as your role model, okay, or ideal person, then you start comparing yourself with your father, and you see that your father is more responsible, then you start becoming more responsible. That is how your personality starts getting affected. Okay, second identification can be looked in as the person motives or desire to be like the model. Okay, the first is just the comparison. The second identification is you actually start becoming like your father. You actually start behaving like your father. Your father eats this way, you start eating that way. Your father talks this way, you start talking that way. Your father sits like that way, you start sitting like this way. Okay, copycatting that person, replicating that person is the reason that your personality can change. Okay, third, it can be viewed as a process through which the person actually takes on the attributes of the model. And third means what? In second, you are just trying to replicate, you're just trying to copy the person, and in actual third step, you actually become like that. Okay, you actually get the attributes like that. You actually start talking without knowing that you're talking like that person only. Okay, and fourth, it can be used as a process in which the person observes himself or herself. Okay, so last, with this very important one, it can be viewed as a process in which a person observes himself or herself. Okay, here means what? You actually self analyze yourself. Okay, you actually start seeing of like, who am I actually? When you get a question, who actually am I? Okay, when you try to cut the factors and you try to see yourself like, who am I am who am I, what are my qualities, what I am to the world. When you start seeing like that, your personality is bound to change. Okay, when you see yourself with in the mirror of yourself, then you are going to bound, your personality is bound to change, because you find yourself some flaws, you find yourself some strengths, and you try to develop that, and you try to be the best version of yourself. So when you question mark about yourself, who am I, then your personality is definitely going to change. Okay, next is cultural factors. Cultural factor means what culture is around you, what rituals you follow, what religion you are, what is the cultural environment in your city or in your country or in your world, that is bound to affect you. Culture is underlying determinant of human decision making. It generally determines to attitude towards independence, aggression, competition, and cooperation. Each culture expects and trains its members to behave in a way that is acceptable to the group. Okay, cultural factor means what? How is the culture of a city? How is the culture of the country? Okay, let's see the culture of Japan. Japan's culture is what? The nation comes before than yourself. Okay, so that is a cultural factor. That is how the personality affects. Their personality is trained in such a way that they put the country before themselves. Okay, in India, there are many cultures around you. You sit with the people with very different castes, very different religion. Okay, so cultural background in India is more of mixed, is more of diverse. So your personality is going to be different according to that way. Okay, what kind of friend you have, what religion friend you have, how much that person is religious is going to affect your personality. Okay, so what is the culture around you is definitely going to affect your personality. Okay, next is intelligence. There is definitely some relationship between intelligence and personality. Intelligence is mainly hereditary. Persons who are very intelligent can make better adjustment in home, school, and society than those persons who are less intelligent. Intelligent means what? How much sharp you are, how much strong with mental abilities you are. Your intelligence definitely affects your personality, because if you are intelligent, the people are going to praise you. Okay, if you solve maths problems within 2 minutes, then people are going to praise you. And if you are a little bit, you can say, not good in maths, it doesn't mean that you're not intelligent. Okay, you may be intelligent in arts, you may be intelligent in some other things. Okay, everyone is intelligent in some or other things. Okay, so what kind of things you are intelligent in, what kind of things you are sharp in, what kind of things you are very strong in, affects your personality. If a person is very good at drawing, he or she becomes very creative. Okay, that is bound to affect your personality. If a person is very sharp in mathematics or aptitude, his or her personality is going to change accordingly. Okay, so what is your intelligence, what are your strengths, affects your personality. Okay, next is sex difference. Okay, Why this point is differently given is very important. Okay, here listen carefully. What is sex differences? Boys are generally more assertive, tough-minded, and vigorous. They are better need to succeed with regard to the interest and aptitude. Boys show interest in machinery and outdoor activities. They prefer adventure. But girls are less vigorous games. They are quieter and interested in personal appearance. They are more injured by personal, emotional, and social problems. Okay, being a girl or being a boy affects your personality at a very great level. Okay, why? Because society has conditioned us. If there is a boy, he or she should be if a person is boy, he should be strong, he should be very brave, he shouldn't cry. These all conditions are put by the society on you just because you're a boy. If you're a girl, they expect you to do a very good makeup, they expect you to be very cheerful, beautiful, brightful, very happy, very means you can say respectful, may talk very less or talk very limited only. These all things are conditioned by the society because of your gender. Okay, you're a boy, you should be strong, you're a girl, you should be timid. Okay, these are conditions that a society has put on you. Okay, but this can change when you realize that what your true potentials are. When you start seeing yourself besides a girl or a boy, then your personality can definitely change. But the sex or the gender what you have is going to affect your personality at a great level. Okay, so what kind of gender you have? There are definitely some physical factors that affect your gender, that affect your personality, but also there are many social factors that affect your personality just because you're a boy or just because you're a girl. Okay, so whether being a boy or girl or what your gender is definitely affects your personality at a great level. Okay, next is psychological factors. Psychological factors play a big role in functioning of human behavior and the development of one's personality. Some of the psychological factors are motives, acquired interest, attitude, character, intellectual capacities, etc. Beyond the joint influence of these factors, however, relative contribution of each factor to personality varies with the character or personality process involved in perhaps with individual concerned. Okay, psychological factors means what? How your mind works, how your brain works, how much mentally strong you are, how what kind of mental strengths you have affects your personality. Okay, if a person is sensitive, that is going to affect his or her personality. If a person, let's say, is a sensitive and he or she cries at the movies, watching movies, if there is sad scene comes in a movie and that person cries. Okay, so what that happens in psychological factor, that is going to affect your personality. That shows that you are very sensitive. Okay, that's when you know you are sensitive, that affects your personality. That shows yourself as sensitive but strong also. Okay, being sensitive is not weakness. Okay, being sensitive is also strength. Okay, crying at movies is strong, as is a attribute of a strong person. Okay, so what kind of psychological factors you are, how much mentally strong you are, how mentally sharp you are, what is your attitude towards some things, what is your character, affects your personality. Okay, and these all factors can be changed with your own willpower, with your conscious mind. Okay, what your mind is, how your mind works affects your personality. Okay, so this was it for the factors that affect your personality. Okay, thank you.